Hello America, this is Call of Duty Goddess. Today is June the 14th, 2016. I want to talk before I start reading this article. I just want to say that I think most of us can all agree on that our government either took part in this, maybe did the whole thing and planned the whole thing. Could be either way. It doesn't matter what the reasons are really, and it doesn't matter what you want to call it either. It's that our government is actively working against us. Most of us know why. It's for the New World Order. But another thing I wanted to point out, and it's very concerning to me, is that a lot of people all over the internet keep saying everything's a false flag. And they could very well be right. But over a period of time, this hardens you to situations that maybe are really happening. That's just my opinion. And I'm afraid that maybe we're being conditioned in a way to where something really horrific is going to happen and no one's going to believe it. Possibly like this incident. So, with that being said, let's get started on this article here. I'm on Get Off the BS. Howell and 4 other suspects involved in planned Sunday massacres. And this is from Tershman. Thank you, Tershman. Sources within the Santa Monica Police Department claim that James Wellesley Howell, an Indiana man who was caught with explosives and weapons on Sunday morning, told the Santa Monica police that as many as 5 people were involved in planned attacks on gay communities in both Florida and California. According to the LA Times, Santa Monica Police Chief Jacqueline Seabrooks initially said on Twitter that the 20-year-old Indiana man, James Howell, told one of her officers that after he was arrested that he wanted to harm the gay pride event. However, after the FBI quickly took over the case, a Santa Monica police spokesman, Saul Rodriguez, indicated that Seabrooks was mistaken and offered that the Santa Monica detectives who were working the case are not aware of what the suspect's intentions were at this point. The official version of this story released by the LA Times falsely claims that on early Sunday, Santa Monica police received a call about a suspected prowler who was knocking on a resident's door and window about 5 a.m. in the 1700 block of 11th Street, Santa Monica, police said. Patrol officers responded and encountered Howell, who was sitting in a car registered in Indiana, police said. Officers inspected the car and found 3 assault rifles, high-capacity ammunition, and a 5-gallon bucket containing chemicals capable of forming an improvised explosive device, police said. A law enforcement source who spoke on condition of anonymity said the contents of the bucket included tannerite, an ingredient that could be used to create pipe bombs. The source, who was not authorized to speak publicly about the ongoing investigation, said authorities also found camouflage clothing in the car. LA County Sheriff's officials said that the suspect told police he was going to the Pride Parade to look for a friend. Authorities were looking for that individual. The real truth of the story was released to a former LA County prosecutor who works for Get Off the BS by 2 Santa Monica police officers that have been issued gag orders under threat of federal prosecution for further talking about the incident. According to 2 department sources, Howell called the Santa Monica police on Sunday morning claiming that he needed protection from the CIA. Howell further elaborated to the dispatcher, stating that he had been set up by the CIA. "They're going to kill me." According to Howell, he was in LA to meet with another person in a collaborated attack on the gay communities in both Florida and LA. Howell additionally stated that everything has gone south. "Dan was gone when I got here. They killed the leader of the Florida attack this morning. They're going to kill me. I need protection." According to sources within the police department's investigation, Howell indicated to officers who first made contact with him that Howell claimed he was one of 5 people involved in a planned Sunday attack on both the East and the West Coast. Howell stated that he was supposed to hook up late Saturday night with his contact in LA, who was supposed to have more weapons and chemicals to mix with the tannerite he was in possession of. "When I got here, Dan was gone. I went to his apartment and he had cleared out. I tried calling him, but he never answered me," said Howell. When questioned about the other 4 people involved in the plot, Howell was only familiar with the first names of 3 of the alleged suspects, naming his contact in LA, Dan, and 2 of the 3 contacts in Florida, Omar and Brandy. Speaking of the suspect killed in the Pulse Bar massacre in Florida, Howell stated, "Omar was not supposed to be killed. They lied to us. Omar and Brandy were supposed to get away." When Howell was questioned about how he and his conspirators knew each other, he said that, "We are all familiar with each other through an online fundamental Islamic knowledge seminary course. We were recruited through the course and trained together at a camp in Virginia. We were taught about how to shoot and make bombs. Everyone knew their part. Something went wrong." Before the others could further question Howell, agents working for the LA office of the FBI quickly swept in and took over the case. Santa Monica detectives were never allowed to talk with Howell. In summary, it appears that Howell was on his way to hook up with another conspirator, Dan, to set off explosives and shoot people at the Gay Pride Parade in Hollywood, California on Sunday. Finding his contact missing when he got to LA and having heard that Omar Mateen had been killed by a FBI SWAT team in Orlando, Howell determined that he had been double-crossed by the CIA and feared for his own life. Howell was taken into custody by the FBI before Santa Monica police officers could further question him about the motives behind killing gay people on both coasts of the U.S. on Sunday. However, in absence of further information and or anyone who will officially go on the record, there is no doubt that the American public is not being told the truth about the Orlando, Florida shooting and the arrest of Howell on Sunday. It's a shame that the feds got to the Santa Monica police chief on Sunday before she was silenced. However, we are very thankful that at least 2 officers have risked their jobs and freedom to reveal what she would have most likely tweeted had the feds not got to her. The official story released by the LA Times would not have held up for long with most people, but it will most likely either disappear or be amended by the Times. The mainstream media's version of the police showing up to Santa Monica apartment because someone in the neighborhood allegedly claimed that a person was knocking on a neighbor's door and windows is almost comical. He goes on to talk about the likelihood of a police officer showing up within 2 hours is about 1 in 10 million. However, for argument's sake, let's assume that police hurried right over to the apartment and found Howell there. The likelihood that Howell drove all the way from Indiana to California to be found by the Santa Monica police with explosives, ammunition, and assault rifles in plain view in his car is about 1 in 10 trillion. Says, "Please use your common sense in this matter. The mainstream media and the feds are lying in this matter. There is no way that Howell's arrest and the shooting in Orlando, Florida is a coincidence. Everyone would be well advised to hide their weapons before the feds come knocking at your door to take them." Well, that does make a lot of sense with all the people being injured and killed, and many people have stated that in the comments section on videos about it's impossible almost for one person to do that kind of damage in that short a time with what he had. So that's a good twist. I do believe there were people involved now that you look at it, whether he was a CIA patsy or the CIA turned on him or anything like that. I don't know, but it sure is interesting. I'm throwing out theories there. This is Call of Duty Goddess signing off, and as always, I've got your 6.